it comes down to institutions. See, institutions is pillars that hold up a community. You understand what I'm saying? So, family is an institution. You know what I mean? The church is an institution. The school is an institution. You know what I mean? The supermarket is an institution. You know what I mean? All of these different things. And those institutions have permanency in terms of the idea. You understand what I mean? So whoever was the first person that, let's say school is an institution, right? Whoever was the first person that built the school, they going there. You know what I'm saying? But the school is still there. You know what I mean? Like right there, you got Harriet Tubman. You got people in they 70s and 80s, right? That come like, hey, I used to go there. You know what I'm saying? This teacher, that teacher. It's an institution in the community where somebody that's 50 can meet somebody that's 14. Be like, yo, you from over there? You went to that school? Yeah, I went there, man. You know what I mean? And now that's a whole bond that they have, right? That's just one example. But just to say that, the hospital is an institution, right? Now, the hospital improves people length of time that they live in or whatever. Life expectancy, some levels quality of life. Peace, God. You know what I'm saying? On some levels quality of life or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So that institution, right, supports the community, right? Even if people decide they're not going to eat right, this institution is still here. You see what I mean? And I wouldn't say we haven't been building them. We haven't been building enough of them. But, it's also, a lot of those institutions have been destroyed over the years. You see what I mean? So, like, all those communities, the Black Wall Street type of communities, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Those was destroyed. But those would have been institutions. Like New York is an institution in terms of economics. Chicago Stock Exchange, the LA Stock Exchange. You understand what I mean? Those types of things that outlast even the individuals that's all around. You see what I mean? Like the school is an institution to where, in the 60s, there was people that was just getting exposed to the knowledge and they was able to come here. In the 70s, there was people that just heard about the knowledge and they was able to come here. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, I just was hearing about the knowledge, I was able to come here. You know what I'm saying? In the 90s, Infinite was just hearing about the knowledge, he was able to come here. You know what I'm saying? In the 2000s, that's an institution. You see what I'm saying? We don't got a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? We got them, but we don't really like them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got gangs. That's an institution. You understand what I'm saying? We got, there's certain blocks, where they've been selling drugs on that block since my pops was a child. Institution. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like I said, it supports that aspect of the community. You understand what I'm saying? It don't have a total, but when I say institution, right, that don't mean positive or negative. You see what I'm saying?
So you wouldn't call it a safety net?
Yeah, it ends up being the safety net, I wouldn't call it a safety net in the same way like welfare. You know what I mean? But, those institutions, they do ensure kind of like the peaceful transfer of knowledge and power and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But, hunting, people that go out hunting for food, right? That's an institution, right? It's not really safe You know what I mean? I wouldn't call that a safety net. You know what I'm saying? But it is like, okay, through, let's say I'm a hunter, I take my son with me hunting, he take his son with him hunting. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't gotta start from zero, so that's safer, right, than each one of us having to go out there on our own. You know what I mean? Which is kinda where the black community is now, where every generation gotta start from jump because we don't got the institutions. You know what I mean? Rather they practices as institutions or organizations and entities as institutions.
So would you consider it like a impossibility for us to build our own institutions, like in this particular climate?
Which said?
Like, would you consider like a impossibility, like, to build our own institutions within, you know?
Well, now here in Random Jewels, we got institution that we building. You see what I'm saying?
But therein lies the challenge.
Peace. I'm leaving.
I
The challenges of being an institution within an institution that's really designed to shut your institution down, because if it's not in alignment with.
right. That's it. That's what we doing.
That's like the challenge is like, you know, like each generation has to start all over again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, has to keep, as opposed to having the support of the generation that came before.
I mean, you know, that's by design, but at the same time, everybody's doing that to everybody.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, the Muslims is trying to break down the Christian institution. You see what I'm saying? The Jews are trying to break down the Muslim institution. You see what I mean? It's, at some point, you gotta learn. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's definitely other forces, right?
Mhm.
But other people build institutions all the time. You know what I mean? The Hispanics is well underway in building their institution here in America.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like how many government buildings do you walk in now and don't see Spanish? How many
You mean like Spanish people, or like dealing with?
Spanish on the wall directions when you get the
Oh, okay,
application or
right.
whatever
I
you're
got
filling out, when you call on the phone, how many places do you call and they don't ask you to press 2 if you want to hear Spanish?
Right.
They built their institution here.
Especially
You understand what I'm saying?
Job, man, you gotta be bilingual.
That's right. Because they you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, we've seen the Irish do it. We've seen that, you know, other people do it now. The difference with them is they're able to be white.
And not only that, they have a history that they have built. Like their institutions is built on the history of other institutions. Like, you know, like you talk about like the Hispanics. Like, you can go back to like the whole Latin shit. That's like, you know, the Roman Empire and Catholicism, and then the Greeks, and you know what I mean. Like they built it off of a lot of, you know, what was in the past. Whereas like now you don't really have that. Well, with us, we like, 'cause they keep trying to break it up. You say you start.
I'm not sure you're saying institutions grow out of other institutions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But see, and I mean could be oversimplifying, right? But when you look at those other people, right? The first institution is always the family.
Yeah, right. No, that's right.
You see what I'm saying? Like the Hispanic people, that they got a very strong culture with that. You see what I'm saying? You know, the Italians, they got a strong family with that. You know, the mafia is considered family. You understand what I mean? And those is institutions that they use. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Irish, they got family clans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All the McGregors is together. You understand what I'm saying? And they use those units and those alliances and those units, right, to just start putting the little building blocks. You know what I mean? And they did their thing one step at a time. So like I said, that's another problem to me that black people got is like, okay, we want to go from where we are right now to where the Italians is on Howard Beach. You see what I mean? Like, nah, you got to go through the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s like they did.
No, we did. We just had that, you know, we had that stumbling block.
No, but okay, there's stumbling blocks, but there's also the case of us selling out.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Because we want to move too quickly, right,
there was that
into the mainstream, right? So look, we just was talking about hip hop. That's something I say about that all the time, right? Is that, yeah, they gave them all that money, but they gave them all that money to control the business. You see what I'm saying? Now, anybody, let's say you got a $30 million check, right, in 1995, right? 1996, 97, 98, they was giving out them kind of checks, 50 million, 80 million, right? How much you think you would have got now, though? How much you think that investment would be worth now? You see what I'm saying? Listen, here's a story, right? That look, on the outside shit, I look at other shit, that's why I be watching other shit. Cause I be like, yo, sometimes I watch military shit, all types of people like, damn, how the fuck do people, how do these people build this nation? You know what I'm saying? How did they get this shit, how they got it? Right?
Yeah,
now look, you remember Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Now, did you know that Netflix ordered, they offered to sell themselves to Blockbuster for a small amount of millions. And Blockbuster said, nah,
we don't need that.
Yeah, we already got DVDs locked down. Why would we want to do something stupid like that? So I'm just saying, another example of just showing you that if you hold on to something that you building, right, how much the value is going to end up being. See what I'm saying? They could buy Blockbuster now for they lose change.
That's a fact.
You see what I'm saying?
Blockbuster done lost a lot of value.
And what I'm saying is that there's lots of things that we did like that. You know what I'm saying? Where we had it, right? We had it locked down, but then we wanted like, yo, boom, we could get that check, and then that'll put us where we rubbing elbows with. You see what I'm saying?
We didn't understand the
Yeah.
future, the grand scale of things.
You see what I'm saying? And then, see, the problem is, money goes down. Yeah, so that $30 million that you got in 1995, that was when the richest person in the world might have had like 20 billion. Now the richest person in the world got 200-something billion. Right? So, yeah, big bank is still taking little bank. You know what I'm saying? You know, shit that was a quarter, when you got that 30 million, is $1.50 now. Remember we used to get them Drake cakes and shit for a quarter? You know what I'm saying? That shit's $1.50. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that kind of brings me to the mind, like, what if Barry Gordy never sold Motown?
What if Barry Gordy never sold
Motown?
Right? Because think about it. It's not just, okay, the artist is gone, but here's the thing. Depending on what year he sold, I don't know. You could have missed the cassette tape revolution.
And the CD revolution, right? The CD,
yeah, because listen, there's people that was broke, guys. They drugged out all their money, taking drugs, G. And when fucking cassette tapes came out, they sold more millions than they sold of the first shit.
Yeah.
They fucked that money up.
Them CDs.
And when CDs came out, they sold more than they sold the first 2 times put together.
And messed that up too.
So now just saying, them whole, God, how many times did you go into what's your name? It's a whole section that say Motown.
Right. You know
a whole section that say Motown.
And then Broadway, and then you had Masters and Publishing, and he sold all that.
He sold all that.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm
How
saying?
do you sell masters and publishing? That makes money for a lifetime.
But it's
But then also-
because
That's
they putting that bread
That's
in your
assets.
pocket right now.
it's instant gratification, but instant gratification is not going to get you long-term investments.
And not only that, they like Def Jam was sold to the crackers too.
Yeah.
And now the music is weaponized against our youth. So it's like, yeah, selling out at every corner that it's not worth it.
Oh, everything's big, so it's just like whatever check they show me, I'll go sell it to them. And that's the messed up part because even some people get it. Like the kid who used to play Smart Guy, he played in Lion King. He would play the voice of.
Okay, right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They said to me, I could take this 20,000 up front, or I could take the royalties. He said it wasn't no better for me, but I had somebody tell me. It was his mother.
His mother, right? Yeah.
His mother said, take the royalties. It's going to benefit you in the long run. He said now it's movies. Now it's in Disney World. It's all over. They get replayed. He said, you know how much money I'm making off and still making off of that?
Still
That's
making
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And God, there's a whole bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That we got. There's genres of music that we gave up. Now it's not just hip hop.
Right,
They got us for like 3 or 4 or 5 genres. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about rock and roll, you talking about
Jazz.
everything.
Yeah, they got us.
Whole catalog.
But because you gotta be willing to say, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna wait to 20 years. I'm gonna wait to 30 years. Look, I'm gonna even think generationally, right? Like, look, right now, I didn't know this till today. I remember I read the paper, right? Sylvester Stallone, talking about institutions. Sylvester Stallone didn't have the rights to Rocky.
He doesn't have the rights.
He doesn't. The producer, look, I recall how it went down. He was a bullshit actor, whatever. He wrote the script. The producer picked the script up. He don't got the money to make the movie though. So the producer had bought the script up. I didn't know that whole part of the story, but he was saying today, right? So it's been like, what, 40, 50 years and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he just now saying like, yo, Scrams, B. So you ain't gonna share that? Like you just gonna give that to your kids? You ain't gonna leave that. I don't get none of that for my kids, right? Like nigga, you done got all this. See what I mean? I'm just saying that's how he's thinking generationally. He got hundreds of millions of dollars. But how many of us is thinking like that? Like you said, like whenever that brother made that decision, right? He probably was a kid himself, right?
He was.
But now it's something that he can say, here, son, that anytime they take that paper over there, they owe you.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You see what I mean? But if we only thinking about, yo, God, listen, I've been there. God, niggas is thinking,
The money
damn,
not
son.
gonna last, but the assets.
Niggas is thinking, yo, son, get that chain, son, and the rims. Like, yo, this they spinning, nigga, they spinning.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I gotta flex.
Or better yet, you know, I
niggas
gotta pay my rent right now.
Listen,
Straight.
that happens too.
Most of the time, yeah.
Because you dealing with big bank and little bank. So that's something they do too, right? If you go to the label, right, they try to drag you out. Because see, if it takes the year to make this deal, they good. But if it takes you a year, after all this investment you put in, you fucked up. So now when they push that in front of your face, you're like, yo, you know what?
I need that.
Yeah, let me jump on it. Exactly, but I'm just saying that now the potential years later, God, I seen this shit. Listen, so when the RZA one day, he's like, yo, son, I wish I never gave those niggas meth.
Oh, shit.
But look, the same thing. He said, look, at the time though, it put us on, G. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we was getting money. But when we got that deal, you understand what I'm saying? So, I've experienced this shit, guys, in so many different ways, from so many different angles, in terms of you being able to see the fullest potential of what you building on, right? And holding on through the hard times, man. You see what I mean? It's not even to say the hard time, but holding on to it instead of saying, let me get them rims. Yeah. But see, that's how rich people think. People that got $100 million. That's one thing about rich people that I found out too. Real rich people is cheap than the motherfuckers, sir.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
So it's like the poor people that's buying the Gucci belts and buying the Prada.
Like the minimally lucrative or something. You know,
right.
they not even,
these motherfuckers is going to Target. Skips.
Yeah. You never see like the Koch brothers with no Jordans on. You know what I'm saying? You never see the Walton family showing all their Birkin bags and shit.
That's a fact, though.
You understand what I'm saying? Not saying they don't got them if they go out or what's your name, but it ain't no thing like, yo, I'm on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's one of the big problems. You know,
wealth is flashy. Like we gotta show it.
Bullshit niggas is a bigger problem though.
Yeah, they ain't taxing bullshit niggas, man. Ooh-wee.
Do you know that somebody has ratted in every time in America that the black man tried to do something for himself, somebody's ratted.
Always. Snitches.
I'm talking about positive shit. Like niggas ratted on Nat Turner. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ratted on Harry Turner.
No, but that thing.
They didn't want to see
just
it.
said, yeah.
She said she had to shoot him, a couple of them sometimes.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you know what? Like
Look,
it's either freedom or death. I'm gonna shoot you.
And in civil rights, people ratted.
But why even get involved if you finna rat?
No, God, you know what it is? I think what you hit on before, God, big bang takes little bang. Because it's the same thing with the mafia. Like they gonna like all these different so-called institutions, right? All have codes of like you got the blue wall of silence, you got the with the government and like you're not gonna just tell on us, like you're not gonna just.
But if I rap, what am I gaining from that? I'm in the civil rights movie. They done told me these secrets. I tell it to the other side. They're not gonna trust me.
No, but they get enticed. They get enticed because they weak. They get enticed by. I got something better for you on this side than on because we about to smash those motherfuckers. Come fuck with us.
That's a lie though.
Oh yeah, license don't give them nothing.
Cause as soon as I get you, then and I got you caught, what do you think I'm gonna do with you?
They ain't thinking like that.
They ain't thinking at all. Cause I'm a rat, and then I'll get nothing out of it.
License devil because the devil gives them money.
See, it depends on the mentality of the person too. Like some people, like see in civil rights, right? You have some people that was ratting because, you know, they like how it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like the junior supervisor over here at the plantation. So, you know, y'all niggas causing trouble. You understand what I mean? I'm gonna have to tell Massa, cause you got people that fuck around and get caught up. You know what I mean? You driving down the wrong road, you get surrounded by the fucking Klan. You know what I'm saying? And niggas is like, yo, look, and you know how the Klan be, they got FBI down with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So look, when they come out there, look.
The institution that came out of another institution.
Look, I know I'm down over here, but look, I'm FBI. You wanna get out of here? You know what I'm saying? You can either be hanging up tonight, or I can get you out of here. What you wanna do? Yeah, it's all different types of ways they get people to write. You know what I mean? They have people. You ever seen? If you look on YouTube, it's on there. I think it's on Hezekiah News, right? It's an interview with it's the guy that told the police, the guy that lined up Fred Hampton. And the guy that lined up, I can't remember who the other guy lined up, you know what I'm saying? But the one dude that lined up Fred Hampton, right? They was like, yo, why you did that? And he was like, yo, man, I got in trouble. I had a case and shit for a stolen car, and I was looking for a way out, but I didn't, and they just came up to me and was like, yo, you want to join the Black Panthers force? And he said at the time, like, it wasn't even like I was like on no militant shit or I was really pro-black or none of that. It's just like, yo, it was a shot to get out, so I took it, right? Now look, here go the other side, what we be talking about. Where's your lessons, man? Do you know your degrees, man? Who the fuck is you? Where you from? God, this nigga comes, they make him the head of security. So he gives them
no examination.
He gives them the not a good enough one. You know what I'm saying? He gives them the layout to where everything is at, right? So that's how they knew where to hit him at, and he left this shit open because he's the security. So he's the last nigga out. Everybody was be resting, and he fucking told the police. To just say that, yeah, that's why we examine.
But there's no way to filter snitch it out.
Examine. See, if everybody got to get on the hot seat, then we can see the 1 or 2 people that's acting funny. You understand what I'm saying?
It's just to have that type of legacy, like, I was a snitch. I'm just saying to have that type of legacy, like,
Both of those guys committed suicide.
Like Judas.
Yeah. Because, see, like Judas, he didn't know what really was going to happen. That's what he said. He said it wasn't until he got, like, he was like, yo, he's down the street, right? And wherever his quarters is, right? So he hears all the shooting. And he was like, when he came down and saw the scene, that's when he realized the magnitude of what he did. See, he thought they was gonna come, Panthers was going, do some shit or something. Or, they was gonna come and arrest him or something and shit. You see what I'm saying? See, Judas, he believed all this shit is real. See, he thinking the Roman army's gonna come, Jesus gonna hit them with a lightning bolt. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna just keep the $40. And we're a lot of motherfuckers that snitch. That's what they be thinking, man. It ain't gonna be that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, that's how they be telling you. And now you just tell me this nonsense. You tell me this, everybody goes home. Get the fuck out of here, B. You know what I'm saying? That's what they tell you, son. They just tell me this right here. Everybody go home. Help me, I help you. That's what they be thinking. And they don't have no people around them that told that they ain't that already that told them, man. Don't trust these motherfuckers. If everybody, that's why I see that those in other parts, for instance, we say, look, everybody need to come to New York, man. You understand what I mean? That's
You just said shit on fire the last time you said that though.
What?
Everybody gotta come to New York.
I know what's up with that clown.
Yeah, right.
Listen, but look, I already told
I
people
feel way about that one, man. Like, fuck out of here, man.
Certain people, I'm banning. I'm gonna have to ban certain people next year. I'm giving them a heads up right now until 2023. Some people still got a chance. They can straighten up. Like Rock 120, I give him a chance.
Oh man, that guy, man, come on, he can get a chance, man.
Listen,
I don't know what kind of transpired, man, but he's kind of, yeah, man.
Even the devil get a chance to clean himself up.
Oh, man, he didn't prove himself too much.
Yeah.
I mean, how many chances? I mean, how many pages? I mean, do you count each page as a chance?
What you talking about?
You said Rock 120, like.
Yeah, right. No, this is look.
How many? Because he's had several pages.
No, I'm just enumerating the law right now. See,
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm making the law.
Because he's the same one he put you on the top. He's the one who put you at number one.
Listen, I'm number one.
You know.
But I'm saying.
Right, number one.
I'm saying, now that they know. See, because before they didn't know, they probably thought, you just troll freely. right? But now that they know that, look, next year, I'm banning certain people. You know, I reached a stage where it's like, come on, man, I don't play. It's like when I first got the knowledge. You know, that was one of the things that happened, you know, on the other side of the coin, where it's like, okay, all the other people that I used to maintain with, it's like, yo, let's go do this, let's go do that. Homes, road killers now, we don't play shit like that. Like, we don't play that kind of shit. we don't do that type of shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Who do you think is worse, being a snitch or following the wrong thing? That'll basically have you fall victim.
In terms of the person, right? And you know, your chances to come back, you know what I'm saying, from what you did, you know, being a follower of the wrong thing is much easier to come back from. You understand what I mean? Because, you know, once you a snitch, now you dealt with a level of betrayal, right? And just, I can never fuck with you again. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't. That's, you know, if you was just with the wrong team, you know, maybe you grew up with them or something. You know what I mean? Who knows? But in terms of, with everything, it's like, okay, a line can be crossed and shit, right? Like, you rolling with that other team, and because of your misunderstanding, you kill me, and then it is the same shit. You understand what I mean? Like, you know, some shit at the end of the day, you doing the same thing, you doing the same thing. You know what I mean? One just looks, one got less blood on him. You see what I'm saying? Like, a motherfucker could come and shoot the building up, right? And they can hit a certain amount of people, they die, right? Another motherfucker could sign his name on a paper, and millions of people die. But ain't no blood in that. You see what I'm saying?
Wasn't the blood in the ink though?
No, the blood is out there on the battlefield where they sent motherfuckers. You see what I mean? This right here is, you know, how do you call it? Like, you know, it's sanitized. It's whitewash. You understand what I mean? So right now, right, if I was the head of a street organization, right, and the people in that organization was going outside killing people, I would be known as a murderer, right? There's no, well, not nothing. You know, people like Hitler and Stalin is known like that, but you don't hear people referring to Obama as a murderer. You see what I mean? Even though he's the head of an organization that goes out and kills people. You know what I mean?
Gaddafi, right?
Yeah. And just the wars in general.
Right.
You send people to
Under his
die.
watch.
Yeah, you send people to die on our side, they on their side.
So just because it was a pen, it makes it more clean. It washes my hands in a situation. Makes it seem like I had really nothing to do with it.
Yeah. So see, look, that's a battle that goes on, right? You know, I use this conversation a lot. Where, see, and this kind of goes to what you're saying, right? It's like, okay, somebody's that's in the clan, right, is really, you brainwashed too. You don't know your own history. If you knew your own history, you wouldn't be listening to these people, right? But they're the ones that burn the crust in your yard. They're the ones lynching people for the tree. You see what I'm saying? So even though we talk about these big names, right? A lot of them people, they you know, they not coming to your house doing nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just kind of what we dealing with, you know, mentally as well as physically. You know what I'm saying? They got things that they gonna do. Like, listen, there's somebody, right, that there's people in LA, right, that's like, yo, you know, if we did this right here, we could educate these kids real good and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's people that's like, yo, oh, we got this little discretionary money, right? They like, yo, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start this program, right? And then the program be helping kids be going there, everything is vibrant, they learn, they having fun, they staying out of trouble, right? There's somebody that's like, yo, what the fuck is that? Nah, slash that funding. Cut that down. We you understand what I'm saying? So that person is they in the whitewash position. You see what I'm saying? Like we know who that person is, but you know, we're gonna focus more on the cops that come and tell us to get out of here once they shut it down like that. But those is all the different directions that establishment is coming to us from. You see what I'm saying? And it's been that way the whole time, right? Because John Harlan Hawkins come and get you, right? But not without the backing of Queen Elizabeth.
The size of institutions coming out of institutions.
Coming out of institutions. You see what I'm saying? And how they got all these institutions working in a way where they affect the same outcome. You know, these are the kind of things that we gotta build. You know, like we already got the knowledge now. And to tell the truth, mostly everybody else already got the knowledge now too. You know, not to the degree, you know, but knowledge is infinite. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't really run into that many people, right, that's believers in Christianity or believers in government propaganda at that level. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of them have picked up new religions that I think in some cases is more dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of that's how it became more apparent in 20th century than ever before.
Would you say happened in the 20th century?
Like new religions and new theologies and new mindsets and like
New age religions.
Yeah, like people trying to implant different ideas in people in like little cult, like little parliaments.
That's always been going on.
It ain't even that, but see, today there's some things that's even tangible, but it's still religious, like cryptocurrency. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that it's bullshit, nobody gonna make money. I'm just saying that people is religious about this shit. They believe in this shit. You understand what I'm saying? To the point where, yeah, you understand what I'm saying? You know, the shit is, you know, crypto is a god to them and shit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's other religions like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, post-racialism and shit. You know, these is all like new religion, but the difference is they don't have any moral code and shit. You know. Like things that, you know, was off limits, you know, which that's one of the tenets of these new religions, is that we want to destroy whatever is the establishment.
It's our new.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter, all that stuff is religious now. You know what I mean? Where people believe in it, right? This is when you know, right? When a person believes in something to the point, right, that they can't admit when positive elevation needs to correct errors. You see what I'm saying? You know, like if you go to, you know, a traditionally religious person and you point out some discrepancies in their book or their teachings, right? They can't just say, yo, you know what? Yeah, that's wrong.
They're not gonna get logical about it, they're gonna get emotional.
Yeah, see, like me, and some shit that happened, I'll be like, yeah, that's fucked up. It doesn't mean I'm not God. You understand what I'm saying? These motherfuckers say none of their things. See, like I said, I embrace being the bad guy. I don't give a fuck.
You know, it's ill though, man. I don't know, you've been watching like the whole, like, what's been happening for a while, the whole science of like the RICO shit, and throwing RICO at everybody, like,
Well,
talk about institutions again, right? But the government has, like, the government don't deal with racketeering, influence of corrupt organizations.
well, personally, I think that's a target. I think that's just something where they interested right now in taking down the East Coast Bloods. I don't know if that's the indictment. What indictment? That's what I've been out of the loop. You know, I know Trump is supposed to be getting indicted too. That's a whole other thing. But if you was talking about that, like in terms of how it's affecting the hood right now, it appears, you know, I don't have no inside knowledge, but just looking at the amount of indictments that they put on the different sets, you know what I'm saying? Just from the outside looking in, it's like, oh man.
And they threw that rapper, what's his name? Why?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's affiliated with that too, so as you know.
So you think the blood thing is the target there?
I think that's what they trying. That's what it looks like to me. You know what I mean? So, like, if I was in that atmosphere, like, the shit we talking about right now about snitching, yeah, if I was in that atmosphere right now, I would be very leery about the people around me and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And what's crazy is that a lot of times, like, with the social media thing, like, these people are really telling on themselves.
Right.
All across the board, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
are they really?
There's a misunderstanding about how the underworld and the mainstream is supposed to be related. You see what I'm saying? When you in the underworld, right, you got to stay under.
Right, but a lot of times
They see
attention is a hell of a drug.
Think about all the different people who are supposed to be kingpins over the years.
Via the music?
Nah, via the streets, whatever. A good percentage of them got caught being in the mainstream. Like, look, even in the movie, remember the movie American Gangster? How he got caught?
Wearing that nice ass coat.
Sitting in the front row of Madison Square Garden with better tickets than people who was in the mainstream. So they like, yo, how the fuck is he down there? We don't know him.
Who the fuck is Frank Lucas?
Like, nigga, you wasn't even on the radar, so we didn't even know who you was.
Nah, we do.
You came in the mainstream, G.
Attention's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Right? That's the same thing with like the Gotti case.
Saying Nicky Barnes, they put him on the cover of Time magazine. And even the people from Time magazine said, yo, the way it went down, he wasn't even trying to do it like that. But they came down there to interview him, right? Like, you know, you do the interview, right? He don't got no clothes, all he got is his jail clothes. So they give him the suit jacket, right? Take his picture, put him on the cover. Saying Jimmy Carter said, nah, this nigga got to go to jail. Jimmy Carter. Cause you on the front of the thing, you know how this makes me look?
Time magazine go around the world.
Yeah. That's how you get caught, son. El Chapo, stay your ass in Mexico, son. Fuck you doing over here?
Talking like Sean Penn.
Yeah. You talking Sean Penn. What? You can't, once you come into the mainstream, G, and you doing some underworld shit, you fucking up, G. Just like, look, if you in the mainstream, don't go down there fucking with people in the underworld, they gonna kidnap you.
Yeah, attention is one hell of a drug, man. Motherfuckers is addicted to that, you know. That's why I say, like, even on social media, motherfuckers is just straight up.
All you have to do is mind your business. Like, cause people like they business out on Front Street just to get viral.
You see, here's the thing, though.
Yeah, right. That's right.
Here's, I think, the double-edged sword in that, right? If you in that age group and you don't see the things that I see, right? Is that, how else do you get paid now?
Yeah. Unless you know about.
Yeah, like if you don't, because people ain't really going like that because of their music. They going like that because of the other antics and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't think, like, let's take 6ix9ine, right? He was around for years and shit before he started that shit. And then he starts that and he blows right up and shit. So the next kid that's 11, 12, 13, and he's thinking about he want to get in the game, that's got to be what he's thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, if you look at the NBA, you see niggas jumping out the gym and you want to make it to the NBA, you're going to work on your hops. You know what I'm saying? If you see people doing handles, you see Steph hitting the three, you're going to work on those things because that's going to be your idea of what people do to get in the NBA. Okay, I can say someone take the weight and then people won't look out for them. Out of sight, out of mind. Loyalty is so real these days. Yeah, that's another thing though. Like, for the most part, when we talking about major time, that person's organization don't outlast them. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to jail for 20 years, let's say you tell my nigga Guans, right? They get crack, they dope, they selling no more. We not even out there. So them young boys tearing shit up out here. We not getting no money to take care of you. You understand what I'm saying? And when you talking about small money, a lot of times, dude, you got caught for doing what you did. You didn't take it away from me. Like we all knew what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? You got caught. And now that's you expecting no. Why was we doing what we was doing in the first place? Because we didn't have money. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of times with that, I tell the dude, look, man, all them broads that you was tricking all that money on, call them. Cause see, a lot of people, right, when they forget that part. That when you started getting that money that you got locked up for, all of a sudden, we all became roaches. And you couldn't even be around us and shit because we wasn't about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You was getting that real money. Now you get busted, you want to go back to the sandbox. Nah, nigga, where is those bitches that you was riding around your car?
Ride around somebody else's car.
Man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of times, people be saying that. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I've been there, man. People calling, talking all type of crazy shit. Nigga, fuck is you talking? What? Abdul Rahman said, I turned down the NBA draft to be amongst my people to keep teaching. Well, why can't you teach your people for the NBA?
Maybe he felt like if he went up, he gonna sell out. He would be selling out.
We see, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the NBA give me $100 million, I'm still gonna be God. Yeah, I'll just be God with $100 million. See, like Carmelo Anthony, he just got $100 million. He still saying he's God. You know what I'm saying? What difference? See, other motherfuckers could be like, yeah, Carmelo Anthony dropped that on me. You would be traveling too much to study. You ain't playing but 6 months. You know what I'm doing? Like, listen.
The other shit
you missed the boat on that up there, right, man. If I was right, I would tell you. I would listen. I would have told you. Listen, you go to the NBA. I'm gonna handle the teaching right now for the next 10 to 15 years until you retire. And then when you come back, let's do the damn thing. We'd have made a great team. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one of the characters on the channel, man. Abdul Rahman, man. Shout out to him, man.
Abdul, yeah, we know. Carmelo tried to get you on the Knicks, but I wanted to go to a playoff team. Abdul Rahman, one thing about you, they can't say you don't got a great imagination. Where's Barnes? Look,
Talking about a massive shooting with 3 people. Oh, it's not a mass shooting. It's 3 people.
yeah, I don't know what that was about neither. Where they say, cause look, if not, look, there's a story behind that where right now I'm reserving. I don't know what's going on with that, but the other dude, I want to see how the whole thing play out with the dude that shot the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like the dude supposed to came out the bathroom with a shotgun and start shooting, and then another dude was supposed to roll up and shot him, right? But then so far, just for the news, just on the news, the initial report I heard, it was like the dude didn't have no training, but then everybody that was there was like, yo, the way he was moving, you know, he moved like he know what he doing. So, you know, I don't know, but you know, that's definitely, it's like, to me, right? It's like, okay, now you got both sides of the what's your name, right? And one thing that to me is what is that's what intrigues me about it, to see how it play out, right? Because you got the argument for gun control, right? With the shooter, with the mass shooter, right? But then you got the argument for the Fourth Amendment with the Samaritan that took the shootout. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, the plot thickens. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch the news if you want to see some interesting drama like that. You know what I'm saying? They got comedy on there too. I finally seen the thing with Biden. Did you see it?
Nah, I was wrong.
Yo, he's giving a speech, right? And then at the end, it says, he said, is it something else? He said, end of quote, repeat last line.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or.
Like he's reading the shit off of the what's his name. So he's talking about whatever he's talking like.
End of quote. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Repeat last line. And look, here's the thing that got me though, so here's the thing that got me.
Yeah.
It was the way he said it.
End of quote. End of quote. Repeat the line.
It was like, yo, it just showed you how phony they is, because look, he's saying the shit, whatever, but when he said, end of quote, repeat last line.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Like he said it with charisma like that, like, you mean you just be gaffling motherfuckers like that just off the blue?
They're not even hiding it no more.
Yeah. Like, because if you, the way he said, end of quote.
End of quote. End of quote. Repeat the line.
Repeat last line.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
He said this shit like he meant it.
It's a stage. It's a play.
So it's like, wait a minute. That means that everything you said before that, you didn't know what the fuck it was either, and you just was saying it with charisma.
They just.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All this shit that you've been talking all this time. Yo, I'm with this, I'm against that.
You know,
You're just up there saying these fucking words that you didn't even analyze with charisma, and we think you mean it.
End of quote. End of quote. Repeat the line.
they wrote them shit for him.
But yeah, I see that, you know, the drama and comedy, all that, that's on the news now. You know what I'm saying? They got, look, it's, they reporting the Congress and the aliens and all type of shit, is, you know, yeah, space adventure shit, all type of shit you see on the news. Between the news and Clubhouse. That's all I do the knowledge to now. I watched some comedy on there today. Young women said, we don't live in a matriarchy, we live in a failed patriarchy. I guess that's it. Listen, I guess that's a perspective. It's a perspective. It's a perspective. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we don't live in a matriarchy, we live in a failed patriarchy. Just a little FYI.
They just be saying anything.
I go in there and they got a lot of comedy, a lot of drama.
A lot of alternative films.
Oh man, listen. I don't even know. I don't even
When I
know.
first heard that shit, I said, what?
I don't even know if that's what they call it. Like, look, a brother sent me a thing today,
What
right?
you talking about?
A brother sent me a thing today, and it said that it was a guy. He was one of these like Afrocentric guys, like Egyptologist, I think. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, he's giving this presentation, and he said that Chambers Street was named because they used to have jails on that strip, and that's where they was keeping the slaves. They was keeping the slaves in those jails before they was bringing them down to Wall Street and selling them, right? That could be true, but I don't know. But if you look up, if you research it, it's gonna say that it's named after an individual called John Chambers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, and listen, I don't doubt that there was jails on that street. But it's like, see, that's when it gets religious, when it's like, yo, you don't gotta do that.
That's because it sounds more.
Yeah, you don't gotta do that. Like the history is solid. That listen, the slaves came into the South Street Seaport. They was walked up to Washington Square Park and sold in the fountain, where the fountain is right now. And so of course there had to be holding shit all along the route to there. Then you don't gotta make that up, B. But that's the religious part, when you selling a motherfucker something to try to get them interested in this.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
Disinformation.
Yeah, they be more ones that try to like get you into business deals or even try to even recruit you into
That's it.
certain ways of life behind that.
Shakanulu, I don't look. I got someone. Shakanulu seems a little bit confused. He seems a little bit confused about some of that knowledge that I just dropped on him right there. Another thing I was informed of today when I was paying attention to Clubhouse is that white supremacy is a product of patriarchy. Type 1 in the box if you already knew that.
Yeah, I want you to go into that. Go.
Listen, type one in the
news.
type 1 in the comment box. Type 1 in the comment box if you already knew that. That white supremacy is a product of patriarchy.
Ah.
Well, I can. They didn't specify in this particular conversation, but from details of other episodes that I watched, Kay Atkins said he already knew that. See, it's funny because you got a lot of educated people just a little bit mentally and emotionally unstable. You understand what I'm saying? So these like it gets jumbled and shit. You know what I'm saying? It gets jumbled. But now that you mention it, I'm not exactly sure how that. I think it's because the patriarchy is about control. You know what I'm saying? And so, white supremacy, domination, slavery, and all of this is a part of the patriarchy. You know what I'm saying? In this view of the world, the first slaves was black women because they were enslaved by the patriarchy in Africa before it was even white people. No, I'm just saying. Did y'all know that too? I mean, when I say do you know that, do you mean you heard that before?
So that's just really just trying to debunk.
Do you mean you heard that before, or this is your mindset?
I never heard that.
Yeah, no, I just, see, because just because some things come before other things, right? Like for instance, look, and let me use my family, but I'm saying in every family, I'm sure it's like that, right? We got motherfuckers work for the government. Motherfuckers bonded, work at Wall Street. We got motherfuckers did 21 years. You know what I'm saying? We got, you know what I'm saying? We got people that, give out free shit to everybody. Everybody come, all you gotta do is ask them to give you free shit. We got other motherfuckers, man, that they couldn't even lose in gambling. They had to end up returning them. Because every time he lost, he take all the pieces, he stick everybody up. He's like an old time brother down south before the family even came up there. They talk a lot about him. They say he was a bad man. They said he pulled up to the place where they used to gamble and they just lit the car. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing, what I'm saying. The family already existed, right? So which one of us is a product of that? You understand what I'm saying? To say that the people, my brother who did 21 years, where you got that shit from? Nobody was doing time before that. You understand what I'm saying? So for you to say that you got that, right? For you to say that you got that's a product of something that the family was doing is wrong. So by the same token, to say that this warped out idea of white supremacy is a product of the patriarchy is I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
And another thing I don't understand about the patriarchy versus the matriarchy, right, is that men got the same role in both things.
The head of the family.
No. In the matriarchy, you're not the head of the family, but you still got to do all the dying and get all the money. Yeah. So if that's the case, I need to be the high then. Like if I'm making the same money, right? Why would we be taking the orders, man? I might as well be the CEO, right? Like if you're gonna give me the same role, like in the matriarchy, my role should be less.
Yeah, but they had same level of responsibilities.
Yeah, but don't that make it stupid?
Yep.
Like why would I go along with that? Why would I go along with doing the same work for less money? Why would I do something like that? Like I don't understand the logic. I don't understand the logic to that, man.
There is no logic. It's a logic.
Yeah. If you want me to agree to be down with this right here while I'm doing the same work, getting less money. See, you don't know black people very well. It's not the kind of thing we do. Yeah, there's some things, when I listen to them. But see, I never talk on it because first of all, I'm not even in that group. Like the stuff they be talking about, to me, like that applies to them. And they level with the world. You understand what I'm saying? But, like, by the time that idea comes to take over the whole world, I'll be gone. So what the fuck I'm arguing with y'all about? Like, that's what y'all want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the shit they be talking, like, what? Black people was talking like this? But look, if that's what they want to do, at the end of the day, you can't stop them. Because all they're going to do is wait till you go in and do what they want to do. So, that's why I tell people, look, all that shit, you want to patent the flag, you want to do all this shit, and you ain't got that much longer. Soon as I'm gone, have your motherfucking way. But you ain't doing that shit on my watch. That's the only difference. The matriarch. Well, see, you gotta remember the arc part. Archy means rule. You know what I'm saying? Like a monarchy. Mono is one.
One ruler.
Archy is one ruler. That's what a monarchy is. You see what I'm saying? So when you say matriarch, that means the ruler is woman. See, the shit is this though. Whether you deal with a matriarchy or a patriarchy, right? It's gotta be cooperation. Like it's like that's what I seen when people be talking about it. Like when you say patriarchy, then the women feel like, yo, you saying, yo, look, just get in the kitchen, don't say nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And if you say matriarchy, then yeah, I'm in that crowd where it's like, wait, come on. I just your voice is shrill. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't listen. I can't.
Too gentle, bro.
You understand what I'm saying? But look, this is part of how twisted these people. I don't even say twisted, but just how far away I am from seeing eye to eye. You know, being able to see their picture clearly. Is that the girl that said we don't live in a matriarchy, we live in a failed patriarchy. Her point was that a matriarchy can't compete with a patriarchy. That there's like she feels that just when you say matriarchy, right, then it's like you saying this woman is our leader, and you putting her to face the other leaders, who's all men. So she's saying that now we don't stop saying matriarchy because you putting us on the front line by saying that, right? But if you don't want to be on the front line, get off the front line. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, all I can say is that the younger generation, at least on there, they highly educated, they real good at research, not too good at narratives. You know what I'm saying? You know, they'll take a statistic and just say it, but you know, the whole story behind it is you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, information can be encoded in the numbers, but you still got to know what that information is. You see what I mean? It's like, remember you was in school, right? And they say, yo, it'd be a question and the answer is 7, right? But then it'd be like 7 what? 7 inches, 7 square miles, 7 apples, 7 oranges. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have that other part of the narrative, you just say 7.
Right.
See what I mean? That arithmetic don't really tell you what the supreme mathematics is gonna tell you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times they don't, you know, it's like just the narrative behind the numbers just gets a little crazy for me sometimes. Well, yeah, that is what she was talking about, Truth, in terms of, you know, she was saying that the single mother's households and all of that is failed patriarchy. To me, that betrays the truth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, a lot of times, who's leading women in the wrong direction is other women. And they want to make a scene, but what's happening? Look, they go to school, right? And they friend got some new shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, well, how you got that new shit, right? Well, I don't cook, I don't clean. But let me tell you how I got that ring. See, that's it. That's what's not being added on here. You see what I'm saying? That, you know, these are not one-offs. You know, some of this behavior is generational. Please should I watch my father run things to keep the paper flowing, just so my mom could tell him what to do with that money? Is this more like patriarchal or matriarchal? Now listen, here's the thing. That's something, you just hit something on the head, right? That I don't think young women know. That back in the days, right? I'm talking about up until my grandfather, my great grandfather, who I knew personally, my grandfather, at least on my mother's side, right? When they got their check, they came home and gave it to the woman. My great grandmother used to have crazy loot. I remember Bruce got locked up. You understand? My cousin got locked up. Yeah, they over there telling her the story and shit. She's like, yeah. Saying she went in the room and came back with the cash. Lawyer bail, everything. Get him out. You know what I'm saying?
She was old like this ain't.
She was, that's who had to, see, first of all, well, you know, full disclosure, especially my grandfather, not so much my great grandfather. My grandfather's a drinker. You know what I'm saying? So, you got, when he get paid, you gotta take his keys, his money. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, in terms of how they work together as a unit. You understand what I mean? It wasn't just this, yo, I make the money, so this is what we doing. Nah, she made the decisions on that. You know what I mean? She ain't telling him what truck to get and shit like that. You know what I mean? He get it, but I'm talking about like, yo, is we gonna do this other fancy shit over there? You wanna go over there and party? Nah, we ain't doing that.
There's a level of cooperation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And my grandmother, right, was the opposite. Like my great grandmother, her claim to fame. Like I'm talking about, look, if y'all got in an argument, that's what she tell you. I ain't never worked a day in my life. She meant for the white man though. Because I see her chopping wood and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's work. I seen her kill a chicken in the yard multiple times. Skin the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So she, you know, she didn't wash clothes, all that, but her claim to fame was I never had to work for the white man. You understand what I'm saying? So she loved the patriarchy. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, and nobody really told her what to do, G. Like, you know, she had her things she was doing and shit, but basically, they spent their time bossing us around. You know what I'm saying? They was, you know what I'm saying?
So how do we get to now where most women, well, modern women feel like,
If you ask a woman today, she'll tell you that my great grandmother lived a horrible life where she was enslaved and she wasn't able to do all these things and accomplish all this stuff. I'm just telling you that that's not what she would have said.
Right.
That's not
Right.
what my grandmother would have said. You know what I'm saying? With all the shit she went through with my grandfather, she never would have said that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and you know, they not you know, my great grandfather was, you know, what they call like nigger rich for a small town in down south. You know what I mean? He ain't got like Central Park West money and shit like that. You understand what I mean? You know, my grandmother, when she passed away, I think there was at least 90 people in my generation, you know, cousins and shit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, she had like, I think, 6 kids, and it was like 50 something grands, You know what I'm saying? And now I think it was like 100 and so probably like 120 great grands, and then we was already getting started. It was like 40 something great grands. You know what I'm saying? And she used to like, look, in the holidays, she used to just sit there and wait for the mail to come. And just put all her cards up on the fireplace. And now she'd be telling, look, if you came in the house, you didn't get no card, then you see, send me a card right there. Yeah, she put $50 in there too. Yeah, that was her thing. You see what I mean? But you know, I'm sure her you know, the ambitions out there is probably different now.
So would you say holidays is institutions in an institution?
Yeah, holidays are institutions. You know, to me, the first thing about the holidays, right, is the indoctrination, right, of the kids. Like that's the building blocks of the mystery mind state. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could believe in all these little cons right here, then I can hit you with the long white con.
So Santa Claus, Easter Bunny,
Yeah.
they're all the same.
Yeah, if you
thing
can
as
believe
Easter,
that,
right?
yeah, if you can believe that, and whatever else I got to tell you, right, you gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? That's like a psychological thing. Like if you sell shit, right, where if you get the person to agree to a certain amount of things, then they likely to agree to the next thing. And it's like a number on it, like 3 or 4 things. Like if you could get them to agree on 3 or 4 things, and then you say, so yeah, you can buy it, right? They're already in a mindset of agreeing with you. You see what I'm saying? So if you get in all these myths, right, from a certain set of people, and then those certain set of people give you another set of myths, you likely to believe in that. See, because that's you know, when I look back, that's the thing. I was questioning those things already. You see what I'm saying? And so yeah, you know, I'm the rest of this stuff is like, damn, why this shit goes together? I don't understand this shit. You know, like even when they start talking about, well, yeah, you know, forget about Santa Claus and gifts. Jesus is the real meaning of Christmas. Alright, so if this your day, how you let this nigga take you over? I thought you was God and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I can't even, you know what I mean? So these are the questions I'm asking already, man. Like the Tooth Fairy, I'm trying to stay up so I can catch this bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I wake up every time I wake up, God damn it! You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering, yo, how the fuck is Santa Claus coming in the projects, man? We got no chimney here, man.
Right.
All these different things, I'm wondering this shit, G. You understand what I'm saying? So, if you eat all that stuff up, then yeah, you probably much more likely to believe in the whole thing. See what I mean? Because I'm not believing in that, then I start wondering, well, yo, how is it that God know we need miracles here in America, and then what do? He like Superman? He go around in China and do miracles? What the fuck? You understand what I'm saying? Where we at? What's, you know what I mean? I went up in the airplane, I'm looking in the clouds, I didn't see the angels or nothing. What gives? See, if you already questioning that stuff, then yeah, you're not gonna. Okay, Shaw Queen, come clean. What'd you do? Shaw Queen said her mother said she ruined Christmas for her brothers. You know, that was one thing I was glad of. I didn't grow up around my sister that was older than me.
It's also a money grab for your pockets. Cause you know where that 10% comes in? That's where that money came in from, like gifts and stuff. You gotta spend money on.
Oh, you found the toys and you found the toys and told your little girls they know Santa Claus? I do you one better than that. I used to not only find the toys, I used to take them all out and play with them. Listen, put them back in the box and put them back in the bag by the time my mom's come home. Yeah, exactly.
I did that too.
Yeah.
I did that with my Nintendo games.
Listen, my sister said over there, said what I got. I don't know, yo. Look, I got Merlin. I'm about to do electronics, all type of shit. Yeah, nah, all that, I knew all that stuff was fake early. In particular with Santa Claus, see, my pops never allowed me to believe in Santa Claus. Like even if somebody came up to me, like if somebody, like I could be 3, 4, 5 years old, somebody come to me and say, yo, what's Santa Claus bring for Christmas? So, don't tell him nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever he gets for Christmas, I went out and worked for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. Ain't no white man get no motherfucking credit. Don't tell him nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Holidays breed sneakiness, lying, and hiding. Yeah, I did, that impact did have, like, yo, motherfuckers been bullshitting me, man. All the time, and shit in the box. Like, yo, like, even with the Easter Bunny, my aunt used to be prominent in the church. So she used to boil the eggs, and we used to paint them right at the house. You know what I'm saying? So I never believed in the Easter Bunny either. But I did believe in the Tooth Fairy. I don't know why they let that one pass. I don't know why they let that one pass. But yeah, I was trying to catch the Tooth Fairy for a couple of years. Stop losing teeth.
You know what always tripped me out though? Halloween, getting candy from strangers, going to their house. Before when I was a little kid, I thought it was fun, but then I got older. I was like, we going to other people's houses that we never go to, and accepting rotten, like poison, put it into our bags and go home.
I think I might have went trick or treating one time, but I never saw the logic because that same aunt, she go to the supermarket and get like fucking barrel of candy and shit. Fucking going outside for candy right here. You know what I'm saying? And listen, my friends used to come to my house, I'd be eating the candy. This nigga's like, yo, you gonna trick? Fucking am I going trick or treating before I got candy right here? Look, by the time they come, I be took all the chocolate out, all the Snickers. And y'all niggas get green mints, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I never understood it. I never really liked Halloween in general. I didn't like the bobbing for apples and shit. I just ain't like Halloween like that. It wasn't a scary thing. It wasn't fun to me and shit.
If Mecca did this.